Getting kidnapped is such a horrific experience that often leaves the victim with a damaged psyche. Research has shown that kidnap victims often never become too careful, even in the most secured of environments, and some have been reported to have their psyche deteriorate and diagnosed with mental health conditions. With the kind of damage this horrible venture does to humanity, it would only be smart to know how and where these menaces can be avoided. Here are the 7 countries with the highest rate of abduction. You are watching Daily Horror. We bring you your gravest of horrors that lurk around in our world. Most of these horrors are around you, and you don't even pay attention. So, if you are thrilled by terror and consider yourself brave enough to face any dreadful situation, subscribe and turn on your notifications to get notified anytime we put up a new video. Number 1. Mexico. Sitting pretty at the top of this list, a country south of the United States of America. Over 1,580 kidnappings were recorded in 2013 alone, with as many as 90 times more cases that were unreported. Kidnapping happens anywhere in the country, but it's most common in border cities like Juárez, Tijuana, and Tampico. Mexico is a fairly equal opportunity country when it comes to abducting people, though the more publicized and brutal incidents mostly involve locals who are usually the random street thugs and rogue cab drivers. Tourist kidnappings have been recorded as well, but most cases are considered to be specific targets by the kidnapping cartels. The majority of American kidnappings in Mexico involve ATM holdups, where tourists are kept for a few days while they withdraw as much money as possible. Express kidnappings can be common as well, and involve being held until a family member pays ransom. If you ever visit Mexico for tourism or any other purpose, it is advisable to stick to the resort areas and beaches in whatever city you're visiting. If you, however, feel the need to leave the area of the resort, make sure you stay on well-lit streets and don't hail unofficial taxis to save a few bucks. Number 2. Haiti. The official number of abduction cases in Haiti stands at 162 as of 2012. It is believed that unless you're at a resort or some government-protected area, you are pretty much getting kidnapped anywhere in Haiti. No one is safe from kidnapping, regardless of occupation, nationality, race, gender, or age. However, the vast majority of kidnapping victims in Haiti are Haitians. Haiti's kidnapping history shows that people of political and social affluence, as well as business rivals and their family members, are most likely the targets for abduction. The modes of kidnapping are mostly unknown. More often than none, the victims are held for ransom in some type of slum. If you're going to Haiti, only take your resort shuttle directly to and from, well, anywhere, if you must see the cities. Number 3. Brazil. In 2012, around 1,000 kidnappings were recorded throughout Brazil, with most of these cases attributed to the major cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Kidnappers here mostly target wealthy businessmen and their family members, and, in an odd trend a few years back, mothers of professional soccer players. Tourists, for the most part, are left alone and are rarely kidnapped. These kidnappings are carried out mostly by the poor residents of the city's notorious slums, or, as they are called in Portuguese, favelas. Unlike drug-motivated kidnappings, most all abductions in Brazil are financially motivated, which means if you're expressed kidnapped and the abductors realize you're worth more than your ATM card, they'll keep you until a ransom is paid. Kidnappers admit to targeting people who are both well-dressed and appear not to speak Portuguese, so instead of spending so much on expensive designers, it is better you spend it on learning Portuguese. Number 4. The Philippines. With cases of 150 kidnappings reported in 2013, the Philippines should be considered a kidnapping hotspot, especially in the southern part of the country, particularly the Zamboanga region, southwest Mindanao, and the Sulu archipelago, basically the part of the country with all the pretty beaches. The primary target of these kidnappers are the foreign tourists from China, Europe, Australia, and in some cases, the United States. Terror groups like Abu Sayyaf are responsible for many Philippine kidnappings. Pirates cruising the Sulu Sea have also been known to snatch people from resorts and beaches. Mostly, abductees are returned unharmed, but some terror demands have extended beyond money and led to hostages being beheaded when the government refuses to cooperate. The best way to not get entangled with these menaces is to visit the northern and central parts of the Philippines, which are fairly safe to visitors. Number 5. India. India probably should be regarded as the world's headquarters of kidnapping, with nearly 3,000 documented cases in 2010 alone. Child abductions are a major epidemic in India and can occur right in front of families' homes. The more traditional adult napping, however, happen primarily on the streets in major cities. Targets of kidnapping are mostly children for the purpose of trafficking. Middle-class Indians are in rare cases foreigners and tourists. These kidnappings are not particularly well organized and often used by the poor as a way to score quick money, which could be a street vendor, could be a typical street criminal. If you are kidnapped in India, the kidnappers mostly don't have much interest in killing you, and their ransoms are usually pretty low and negotiable. Assuming your family is willing to pay and not still upset with you because of your actions, you should be released within a few days. The general motives behind abductions in India is said to be poverty, so as a visitor, though you aren't usually a target, it is good to take precautions. Don't flaunt any expensive items you may be carrying. Number 6. Colombia. Getting kidnapped in Colombia is often said to be an involuntary tour or hike, as the kidnappers, in most cases, will take you as their traveling companion until your ransom is paid. In 2013, 292 kidnappings were reported. There could be more that were not reported. Unlike the other countries with high kidnapping rates, most of Colombia's abductions happen in rural areas like mountain roads, jungles, rivers, and plantations, so it is better to stick to the cities. Anyone really can be kidnapped in Colombia, from the wealthy Colombians with the means to pay ransom to the unsuspecting tourist looking to experience Colombia. They are all at risk the moment they visit the rural areas. The Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, a guerrilla group, is considered to be responsible for 30% of the 29,000 or so kidnappings over the last 40 years. They denounced the practice as part of a peace talk in 2012, but some rogue factions still do it, as do the National Liberation Army, ELN. Unlike urban kidnappers in other countries, these jungle-based guerrilla outfits wander the countryside, taking you with them until either the ransom is paid or they get tired of dragging you along. You won't be tortured, and you'll be fed, but hopefully you wore your most comfortable sports shoes, as you may be trekking through the jungle for months. Number 7. Venezuela. Kidnappings in Venezuela got so much that the government stopped reporting statistics since 2005. It is believed that an estimate 2,000 kidnappings happen in Venezuela annually. The statistic is too sad to report, even by horror standards. One can be kidnapped anywhere in the country, and it is now considered the most dangerous country in Latin America, and its capital city, Caracas, has one of the highest murder rates in the world. The targets of these kidnappings are mostly middle and upper-class Venezuelans, as many of the foreign visitors are business people traveling with armed guards. The crimes in Venezuela skyrocketed when the late president, Hugo Chavez, released thousands of violent criminals in the early 2000s. Many formed professional gangs who used kidnapping for ransom as their primary source of income. The Venezuelan version of express kidnapping involves being carjacked and forced to visit as many ATMs as you can, as well charging large ticket items from local stores on your credit card before the kidnappers abscond with your wheels. The best way to avoid being kidnapped in Venezuela is probably not visiting Venezuela, unless, of course, you have money to hire armed guards. Are you from any of these countries? Tell us about kidnappings in your countries in the comment section. We want to interact with you. Remember to like and share this video. You know they fuel our passions to bring you more contents. Till we come around again, don't get kidnapped. Coming up on the next episode of Daily Horror, we bring you situations that can test your fears. Get ready for the mysteries on tape. 5 fear-inducing things caught on camera. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss out on the next exciting episode.